I really beat up the pick-me-girl training partner of my husband. In a second meeting at the grocery store, she pushed me aside and talked nonstop while holding on to my husband. I chose to leave to get some snacks. My husband finally got away from her by telling her he had to see what I was doing. She went after him and saw the snacks I was holding. She asked, "Oh, how can you eat such junk food? It's really bad for you." Boxers follow strict rules, so we never eat this stuff. I told him I like to eat what I like. BTW, I'm sorry for any mistakes, but English isn't my first language. After that, she started sending my husband messages now and then. Because I was mad, I told my husband not to answer her texts. He couldn't do anything but say, "She wants to know about training techniques. I have to pay attention to her. We've worked together for a long time and know each other well. We only talk about training in our texts." She made sure to say every time she saw me at the gym, "Don't stress over it." During training, she would cling to my husband and touch his shoulder and waist, saying that she was fixing the way he was training. It was getting hard for me to wait any longer. When I changed into workout clothes to go to the gym with my husband and train with them, she started her act again. Since she had been going to this gym for a long time, she always led the warm-ups. She made the warm-up harder and more intense than normal on purpose, which made everyone tired. She was out of breath when she ran over to me and happily told me, "This level of intensity is normal for us. It's going to be even harder to train. You should expect to have some trouble at first. You'll get used to it after many tries." I smiled and said, "I'm not tired. I just don't believe this warm-up makes sense from a science point of view." She got mad and grabbed my husband's arm, telling him she acts like she knows everything but doesn't. My husband gave her a pat on the arm and told her, "My girlfriend is a professional boxer." She looked confused. So I told her that I box too. "I'm going to use one of your punch bags today." She was shocked and happy, and she suggested that we practice in a real fight that same day. I told her I didn't feel like doing that because I didn't want to. She insulted me and said, "I get it, a lot of girls who box just want to look good. They are shy and weak, and they are scared of real battle. Not many girls are as tough as I am and don't mind getting hit." Oh, hey. I got mad at her and chose to fight her to make her stop talking. "Okay," I told her, "let's do it. Don't worry," she said with a sneer, "I'll be nice to you." My husband could tell I was really mad and didn't know how to handle her constant bothering. His words were very soft, "Just open your heart and spar, but be gentle." He helped me put on my boxing gloves and mouth guard. When the fight began, she threw big punches at me like she was crazy. Where did "take it easy on me" go? I tried to avoid her and sometimes asked her, "Why are you being so mean?" She didn't pay attention to me and kept striking with all of her might. It was clear that she wanted to pick on weak people. If I were a beginner, she would have really beat me up. I was done with her because she had gone too far. I didn't want to fight amateurs because that would put me on their level or mean that I would ignore martial ideals. But if someone keeps bothering me and tries to grab my man, even animals have territorial fights, let alone people. I stopped being defensive and began to fight back. I didn't do anything crazy, but I hit her hard enough that it hurt. She couldn't stand up to me for a second. I'm a fighter, even though I'm a quiet person. People who practice martial arts should work on being good people. They should also be strong when faced with strength and be ready to take on people who are stronger than them instead of taking advantage of the weak. She trained for a long time and thought she could pick on other people. I taught her a lesson. I treated her like a guy because she wanted to act tough and like one of the guys. She stopped bugging me after I hit her. In case she does something else, I'll let you know. Change this time I fought her husband. I felt a little bad about beating that girl. It was like I had used unfair means to pick on her. Also, I hadn't been to my partner's boxing gym in a long time because we were both busy getting ready for a fight at the time. The race was over after about 6 months. And because my partner kept asking me to, I went to the gym again. This time the husband of that girl was there. It turned out she was married and had 2 kids. I have no idea why she kept trying to flirt with my partner. Her husband used to coach both my partner and her. I'm sure she went home and grumbled about being hit by me the last time. The second time, as soon as her husband saw me, he came over and said, "I want to spar with you," which was a very rude way of saying it. I didn't want to do it because he weighed 80 kg and was about 6 feet tall. We all know that boxing matches are broken up by weight class. Because I was small, it was a bit dangerous for me to fight a big guy who didn't like me. Then that girl made fun of me. I got angry because my pride got the best of me. Let's fight. At first, my partner didn't agree, but I kept trying to convince him. "This person used to coach you and now works as a coach at this club?" Asked. Coaches and the head coach are all here today. He was afraid to go too far. The head teacher, a master of martial arts with white hair who is very well known, has known my partner since he was a child. He was still looked up to, even though he only played with kids and didn't teach college athletes anymore. The other 2 assistant coaches were both experienced combat athletes. One had competed in many world-class events and the other was a judge at the time. My partner had known all 3 of them for a long time and could trust them completely. So I was able to convince my partner, and in front of the 3 teachers, I stepped into the boxing ring with that person. He was heavier and had more training experience than I did, but he was definitely not as physically strong as I was. I chose to be patient as a plan. Stay away and in the safe zone. Move back and forth and bother him with feints to throw off his flow and drain his energy. When you get the chance, explode with punches, making sure each one is accurate. I would follow up with mixtures when I had the chance. Since he had never fought before and was older, I would back off after the fight and not get close to him. It was clear that his answers on the spot were not as quick as mine. He was not fast or quick, so it was easy for me to hit him. He also hit me and did some harm, but I was able to handle it. My chin is naturally strong. I had trained with male boxers for a long time, so I was pretty good at taking blows. As the game went on, his physical strength dropped quickly, while mine stayed the same. His whole body was huffing and puffing, tensing up for every punch, so it was clear that he was getting more and more angry. It made me more careful, and I wouldn't let him get close to me. 3 coaches on the bench also spoke up and told him not to go too far. But there wasn't a big chance that I would get hurt, so the match didn't stop. From the point of view of just training, it was a great chance to be in real battle. During the fight, I was in a state of flow. I was calm, careful, and full of fighting spirit, but not reckless. I was able to move around easily because he was moving so slowly, and I hit him hard whenever I had the chance. But then something changed. People who are like each other tend to stick together. People can be told apart by the people they hang out with. What kind of person could the tomboy's husband be? I really was too trusting. Who would have thought he would be so cocky? He pulled a dirty trick in front of everyone because he felt bad about getting beat up by me. As soon as I got close to Mim, he grabbed my neck and hit the back of my head hard with the other hand. In both events and training, this is not allowed at all. We all decided to follow boxing rules before the match, and everyone saw us do it. That meant I had no way to defend myself against such a weak shot. I was hit straight on the ground. This guy had no sense of fighting ethics at all. The 3 coaches ran over to see if I was hurt. Truth be told, I was fine. I was shocked when my old grandfather picked me up and stretched me out. I took a few deep breaths and looked for my partner. As the 3 coaches stood outside the gap, I saw my partner beat that guy up really badly. In battle, my buddy was taller, stronger, younger, and had more experience than that guy. That guy couldn't fight back at all. Even though the teachers made sure I was okay, they took a moment to think about whether to step in and stop the fight. At this point, my partner had hit that guy so hard that his face was covered in blood. We talked about important things later. It was his turn to be scolded by all 3 coaches for a serious foul. That girl said, "It's obviously your fault. Why did you hit so hard?" That man nodded over and over to show that he agreed with what his wife said. "We agreed to practice, but you hit too hard. I broke the rules, though." The old man found it funny. "You've never worked out before, so you thought it would be too hard. A boxer would do exactly what she did with those moves." Are you made of glass? Even though you're big, a girl who weighs a little more than 50 kilos can punch you. The other 2 coaches told him straight out that he shouldn't be allowed to teach at the gym. This guy didn't want to say sorry to me. After that, there was no follow-up. After that, he and that girl ran away from us like ghosts whenever we went to the gym.